Okay, so Renee Good and Alex Pretty both happen to have been 37 years old when they were shot. Both of their last names happen to be adjectives, Pretty and Good. All right, that's no big deal, coincidence, I guess. Alex Pretty's birthday was June 1st, 1988, 6/1/1988. These numbers add up to 33. Renee was taken out near a street called Nicolette. Where Alex Pretty was shot, there was a sign directly behind him that said Nicolette. Renee had 3 small kids. Do you think you would even be doing the things she was doing if you had kids? I don't know a single mother that would be blocking a road with her car, harassing ICE agents if you have kids.
So this is a really great example of what we call, it's either anomaly hunting or pattern recognition, right? You're looking for patterns, and then you say, well, is that just a coincidence? What's the odds that we would see this connection between, Renee Good and Alex Pretty were both 37 years old. I noticed that too, and he's the same age as the other woman who got killed. But is that a coincidence? Yes, it's a coincidence. But you see, then you ask the question, well, what are the odds that they're both the same age? And that's, of course, the wrong question. So this is the two-punch of anomaly hunting or pattern recognition, followed by what we call the lottery fallacy, right? The lottery fallacy is you look for a connection, and then you ask the question, what are the odds of that specific connection happening? When, of course, you weren't looking for that specific connection. You were looking for any connection. So you really have to ask the question, what are the odds of any such connection being found? The reason why it's called the lottery fallacy is because it comes from the fact that if let's say, the odds of winning the lottery are 100 million to 1, John Smith wins the lottery, and you say, well, he must have cheated, right? Because the odds of him winning were 100 million to 1. But you really should be asking, what are the odds of anyone winning? And it's pretty good, right? At some point, someone's going to win the lottery. Most weeks, someone wins the lottery, and it's a certainty after enough weeks, right? So someone's got to win. So after the fact, what was the chance that he won? 100%, he won. Now it's the difference between predicting ahead of time that John Smith is going to win, or after he won, asking what are the odds that he won. Right? Statistics are not intuitive, and people get messed up on little things like that. But that's the lottery fallacy. The other thing that people miss is, what are the chance of this pattern occurring, this random alignment of these two variables? And the answer is it's much higher than you think, because it's the law of large numbers, right? We massively underestimate the opportunities for there to be a connection between the two things. So how many variables were there between these two people? Again, their ages, their birthdays, the letters in their name, the numbers that they add up to. And he even force fits things. He said their last names, Good and Pretty, are both adjectives. His last name is Pretty, not Pretty. But he fudged it in order to make an apparent connection there. And what does that connection mean? Nothing. It's so obviously just a random connection that doesn't mean anything. But he's just throwing it out there as if this can't be a coincidence, so there must be something going on. But it can be a coincidence. If you couldn't find things like this, that would be remarkable. That would defy the odds, right? And there's so much of this. I mean, there's entire books written about the coincidences, the alignments between the Kennedy assassination and the Lincoln assassination. And in isolation, there are things that may seem remarkable, but you have to realize there are thousands of potential correlations times thousands of other comparisons that you're making. There's, probably at the end of the day, millions of potential alignments that you could have. And yes, any one of them was as unlikely as John Smith winning the lottery, but they're also as likely as somebody winning the lottery. And that is the key. That is why, yes, these are just coincidences.